one. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back!
I'm Jo'Van.
I'm Brandice.
And you're watching Closing the Gap. Me and Brandice are both very hyped up on Mountain Dew.
Woo!
And we have an exciting topic, so we're really ready to get into it.
Wait, I forgot. What are you doing here?
What do you mean?
You weren't supposed to be here for the remaining of this season.
Oh, yeah. So if you didn't see last episode, Brandice canceled me. And
I just thought about that. I was like, wait a minute.
Threatened my life on live.
I didn't threaten his life. I just said he wouldn't be here for the remaining of year 2.
And look at me.
He's still here.
Still
I
here.
think he got past security somehow. He made you a security guard.
I'm cool with security. Alright.
But what are we talking about, Jo'Van? We have a fun, interesting topic.
Yes. There was a show that came out, I guess starting last year, and has been going. And it's called Love is Blind.
Oh, it's not Blurry?
Well, according to one of the contestants, it is. And, you know, we're going to talk about him. But yes, the show is called Love is Blind. It's a Netflix show, and it's really good. It's a really good show.
It's so good. Did you watch, this is season 2 of Love is Blind. Did you watch season 1?
I did, but I don't really remember what happened.
Okay, no, I'm not going into that. I was just wondering if you just jumped into season 2 or saw the first season.
I saw the first season. I remember the black guy. The bald guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but yes.
Yeah, I remember him. But other than that, I don't really remember. But this season, I'll remember forever. But then, Love is Blind season 1 was like 3 years ago? It was
2020. It came out 2020.
It seems like it was so long ago.
It does feel like, because that was a whole nother ball game in 2020. So that was a whole, it feels like that was forever ago. But no, it was just 2020.
So do you like this season better?
It was definitely more juicy.
I feel like it was more juicy, and like a lot of people are like, I hated this season, but I'm like,
because of the drama, I can see why they said that. But because of the drama, it had me like, oh snap, I gotta keep watching.
Yeah, they have good characters.
Yes.
Good people, contestants.
So one of the favorites, guys, was a couple, Jared and Ayanna. And they were a favorite. However, they didn't go without their own set of drama for so many different reasons. So the first drama was technically Ayanna was Jared's second choice. And so people felt like, I don't know. That was a whole ordeal because he literally was going to propose to another girl, and the girl said no. And then he was devastated. He was crying, the whole shebang. And the next day, he was like, I prayed. God told me Ayanna's the person. And then here they are. And don't get me wrong, they give you all of the relationship goals, the way they interact with each other and everything. I think they're fine now. But during that moment, a lot of people were like, what?
Yeah, so this is my thing, right? I understand like how that was messed up 100% because she was his second choice. However, first of all, they seem very happy now, and it's just like, okay, so what is he supposed to do? Just get off the show? Like, because the first one didn't work out? Is he not supposed to try to be with someone else? Because that's what we need to establish. We need to establish if you propose to someone and they say no.
And I think he did it on a sly because he technically didn't propose. He just said, "What if I was to ask that question?"
What if? Explain what you mean.
Because he didn't say the other girl he was interested in was Mallory. He didn't ask Mallory, "Will you marry me?" He literally said, "What would you say if I was to propose to you?"
Okay.
And so he placed it up as if like a hypothetical. So that way, I guess it kind of gave him leeway. So if she said yes, maybe he would have. I mean, I'm pretty sure he would have. But he didn't actually propose. It was a hypothetical what if.
So you think that would be the difference?
I'm just saying.
Okay,
I'm just clarifying for the people. So it wasn't like a true proposal. But that was his goal afterwards. This is my thought process behind it. The thing is, everyone is dating multiple people. That's a known thing. Right. And based on the questions they might be asking each person, there's a possibility you can have legit connection with everybody. So it's not to say like, oh, in this pot I'm going to only have connection with one person. There's a possibility that everyone can have multiple connections. You just have to figure out who you think have a stronger connection and things of that nature. And the thing is, Ayana herself said she had a connection with other people. It was down to 2 up to 2 days before Jared proposed, but we never saw that. So we think that Ayana's just like, oh my gosh, which I'm saying she's not devastated. However, everybody has these connections, and my thing is, it's just part of the process. That's my thing. It's just part of the process. Does it suck and it hurts? It's awkward, yes.
But you put yourself on the show.
Exactly, and you gotta go through the process.
Yeah, I don't like how, because I haven't heard anybody say, well, yeah, Ayana also, like what you just said. Like, everyone's just like, oh, Jared's he's a bad guy because blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, what do you expect him to do?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still a good dude. Mm-hmm. So that, to me... She
was on a podcast, and she mentioned that she had the other connections, and it was like literally 2 days.
On
a podcast.
So on the show, she doesn't say that.
No, and she never said in the reunion or anything.
She should have said that because it make Jared look like it was just him. Mm-hmm. But you have to understand, like, everybody's going through the same thing.
Yeah, and another couple went through a similar thing, Shane and Natalie, and people were giving Shane a hard time. But Natalie said someone else proposed to her. So it's like everybody's going through this process and going and like figuring out their emotions and their feelings for these people. So you just have to go through the process. Sometimes you're like, oh, I think I have a connection with them. But then that same day or the next day, you might have a conversation with somebody else and like it just swaps. Like, oh, I never saw you that way. And then you thought you had a connection with this person. But then you're like, okay, I didn't see this person in this light. And then you realize that my connection with you is stronger and I want to be with you. And doesn't mean that it was a lie with you were when the pause with this other person. It's just you throughout the process.
Right.
You saw a different side or had a strong connection with somebody else.
Right. So like the moral is like even like dating in the real world, you can have connections with multiple people. You just have to decide like which one.
Yeah.
But you're
in
not,
the real world, listen, guys. You need to get exclusive before you have all these connections. But yes.
I mean, but when you're dating.
Yes.
Like, it's not bad to date multiple people.
Oh, yes. I'm talking about when you're exclusive. I'm sorry. I was saying when you're...
Yeah, and when you're exclusive... Yes, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you're not exclusive and you're dating multiple people.
Yes, definitely.
There's just nothing wrong with having connections with multiple people, but eventually, you want to figure out which one means the most.
Exactly. So, the only difference is they have a smaller window to figure that out.
Right.
And so it could get a little wonky and complicated.
So let's talk... I kind of want to leave Shake to like till later.
Yes.
Let's talk about Shane and Natalie. So
Shane and
okay. So you want to explain like the dynamic between them? I feel like you'll be able to do it better.
Shane and Natalie. So you have to watch it to understand Shane in his entirety. But deep down, this is how I feel about Shane. I feel like he's a genuine good guy. I'm just gonna put that out there. And similar to Jared, he had connections with 2 girls, Natalie and Shayna. And they played out, but however, Natalie was more vocal about her feelings towards Shane, so eventually he chose Natalie. I just feel like Shane didn't like. He was like one of those people who was very, what's that word? He gaslit her because he knew he had this connection with Natalie, but he was still. And he knew it was very strong. He knew that she was his number one. However, he still entertained Shayna, which, again, nothing's wrong with that. But the way he did it was kind of a little shady.
Yeah, he told Natalie... What was the whole girlfriend thing?
Yeah, so at one point, he's having a connection with both people. And I think Natalie thought they were fine because he kept telling her, "You're my number one. You're my number one." So in her head, she's thinking that he's not having a strong connection with anybody else because he's telling me, "You're my number one." Well, however, back in the living situations, Shane would come in like, "Oh my gosh, me and Shane had this great connection. He's saying all this stuff," and Natalie's like, "Wait, no, like whatever." Oh, that's what it was. So. And love is blind. You can't see each other. You're in this pod, so when you come in, you just got to go by voice. So Shane goes in the pod and is expecting Shayna, but it was Natalie. He was like, "Hey, Shayna," but it was Natalie. So instead of just like apologizing, whatever, he kind of gaslit her, but then tried to make it up. He's like, will you be my girlfriend? That's how that came out. and that sounds great, but that didn't stop him from still talking to Shayna, and it just was a whole hot mess.
No, I agree. I think he handled it really. I feel like, look, I like Shane too. I feel like he's emotionally immature. Like, he doesn't know
Hey,
how to.
DJ, he said you're clean today.
Hey, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. One of
Fresh.
my best friends got me this as a gift, so I appreciate it.
Hey, Kelly, are y'all playing music? No. Sorry.
But yeah, like, Shane just seems emotionally immature. Like, I agree. I think he's a good dude, and I think he genuinely cares about Natalie 100%. But, like, over the course of the season, it's just the way he would behave. Like, he was so offended by her just making little jokes. I'm just like, man, bro, like, you gotta, like, chill out some. And then at the end, when he was like, he said like he never wants to see her again or something like very extreme, and it's just like, dog, like, you gotta Shane. I think all the issues, because I don't remember Natalie doing anything that was bad, but like Shane, all the issues were on Shane's side. Internal issues, you know what I'm saying?
I think he was dealing a lot, because I remember he was dealing with the death from his dad. His dad died just a few months earlier before the show started, and I think he just has a lot of like mental things. Like, he's one of those people who his love language is words of affirmations. Nothing wrong with that. However, he was so dependent on that person to give it to him constantly. Like, if you didn't give them to him like every single day, like on the hour every day, he felt so insecure. So it felt like he was getting his validation from somebody else instead of feeling that within. And then it was just the cherry on top if they did that for him. And I feel like anytime Natalie joked or just like teased him or whatever, it was like a personal attack. Like, do you really love me? He questioned himself every single time. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah, I honestly felt bad for him, because you can see it. Like, anytime he's stressed, you can see he's just like
all the emotions.
His eyes get huge. He's just like, I'm just like, bro, man,
something ain't right with Shane. Santana Thomas said something's not right. Exactly. Shane, and I think, again, we think he's a good guy. I think he just needs some good serious therapy. Like, work on it. It might, I don't know if it's the death of his dad. I don't know, but he has some serious going on.
Yeah.
Or, I think Toya saying maybe some drugs. A lot of people thought that, so maybe he has some drugs. I don't know. Listen, something's going on. I just hope he gets the help. But and eventually he does pick Natalie. They were the couple.
Yeah.
And he didn't. I don't think he knew how to properly like process his emotions.
No,
so at the night before the wedding, he said some very hurtful things in the middle of an argument, like, you're the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah,
I wish I hate you, or something like that.
And then the next day he was like, I said I was sorry.
Right. I love you. I want to marry you. Like, what? Okay, no.
Yeah.
So,
and I felt bad for Natalie, because like as the show, because at first I was like, yeah, okay, whatever with Natalie, but as the show went on, I was like, wow, like, she seems like such a nice person, such a good person, and she had to deal with a lot. She had to deal with Shane's emotions, and then she had to deal with Shayna coming in and just causing problems. Shayna. Artisha yes, he is a bit off, but like I don't think he's a bad dude.
Right.
Hey, hello, mom. And then Artisha said he said some. Yeah, he did. And that's why, like, I totally understand Natalie. Like, she's like, I'm afraid to commit when I just feel like he's just so all over the place sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, and then like, I know she said she loved the spontaneous side of him and the whatever, and she was such like a kind of like a type A, just like very I don't know, introverted and all the things. But however, the thing that worried me about that is like when they were talking about finances, and she was like, yes, I have a 401k and all this stuff. He was like, oh no, I don't. I spend like, how much is
$2,000 a month on food?
A month, guys, a month.
And
on
he doesn't
food.
cook.
Yeah,
I don't think he cooks.
So it's just like, you have this person who's very responsible, who has a plan laid out for everything, and then this person's like, oh, I don't know, I just go by the flow. I'm like, what? Yeah. And she was not concerned about it. She goes, well, I'm financially stable, so I'm like, sis.
Yeah. But
I thought that was wild.
So what's the moral from the story? I think the moral of the story is like, you can be like Natalie. I feel like Natalie was the stable person, but if you're with someone that's unstable, it can, even if that person's a good person who truly cares about you,
yes,
they won't be able to control the I can't think of the word, but it's like the emotional swings. That's the best way I can say it. They're gonna happen, and you may get hurt in the process. And I don't know if you can. I mean, I'm not saying you can't love someone through that, but that's something that they have to know. They have to work on for sure.
Yes, and spoiler alert, they did not get married, obviously, because of his rants the night before the wedding. But I'm kind of, even without that, I'm glad they didn't, just because of, I don't think just based on financial things and just him being just like, oh, I'll just go with the flow. I feel like they just needed to learn each other more in just that small month window where they knew each other. Just because, like you said, his emotional unsteadiness and just all of the things, he just needs a lot to work through. And I would hate for her to get like tied down into, tied down, but
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So,
all right, which couple you want to do next?
The shocker of the all, Natalie. No, not sorry.
Shayna?
No.
Shake?
No.
Oh.
Danielle and Nick. Oh my gosh. Danielle and Nick.
They got married.
They did get married. Surprising. I don't know. Listen. Okay. This is the thing with them. It has to be in my heart to believe that show was edited in a way that make her look 10 times worse than she was. Because that's the only way that I can see him being okay to continue that journey. And I get that they might have had a strong connection and whatever. I believe she's a good person. However, just like our friend Shane, Danielle had a lot of issues that she needs to work out and a lot of insecurities. And I don't think that's fair to like somebody you just known a month, just like spring that all on him. And so in my heart and hearts, I hope and pray that it was a lot of edited things that we didn't see behind the scenes, where conversations were a little different or whatever the case may be. Because when he said yes, I was like, what? I was shocked.
I'm still not convinced Nick is a real contestant. Like, because he was always the person that was like coming up and like
so
asking these really juicy questions. And I'm just like, man, he just seems like he's not real. Like, obviously this man got married, but I feel like they told him like, hey, go ask them this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember you saying that earlier, and I was
it was suspicious.
I think
to
he's
me.
just messy. I think he's just a messy person.
They were the second most boring couple to me.
Who's the first boring couple?
Mallory and that other dude.
Yeah, I don't even care to even entertain their story.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, he played music, but he was so like, his personality is so bland, and even she's like that too, to a degree. Like, she seems nice.
Just a small thing. From my thing about Shout, he's a sweet guy,
yeah.
But I feel like he has issues too, because I feel like he could never let things go. I feel like he was still holding on to the Jared and Mallory's conversation and the fact that they had a thing in the pod. And I'm like, do you have to let that go? And I get some concerns were legit about her parents not coming to the wedding or whatever, or not being able to meet her parents. I get that to a degree, but you're married. I mean, yes, you're going to marry the family, but at the day to day, you're going to have to deal with this person. So if they never come on board, I don't know. It was just.
I mean, look, my thing, I believe like Mallory definitely, that conversation, like I'm saying you should let it go, but I can understand why he felt a certain type of way about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also understand. I don't condone everything that was said in the conversation between Jared and Mallory, but I understand that they still had a connection. Like, just because they chose different people, that doesn't mean like that connection wasn't legit.
Yeah.
And they were kind of like, oh, I finally see that person. I'm sure that was kind of a lot at the moment.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But I don't condone like some of the stuff they said. I think they could have just had the same conversation in a very more respectful way. And because there's some things you just had to say. So we have some comments. So Artisha B agrees that Danielle needs therapy. Santana Thomas said, honey, they seem like a whole new couple on the reunion. They did, and to that point, they did say they were in couple therapy, so there's that. So I think that they did seem very happy.
Yeah. And I think and I follow them on Instagram, and they do like the you know how during the show she showed a lot of her costumes. They do a lot of dressing up together, so they seem very happy. So I'm glad they are in therapy and getting the work they need. So Artisha B said they didn't even bring up all the crazy stuff she said during the reunion. She didn't like that. True, but I don't know. I think it was just because it's not necessarily drama, so it's to bring up somebody's mental whatever. Maybe that's why, and you don't want to, like, I don't know. That's just my thought. It's not like drama where, oh, you had a connection with somebody. You're like bringing up somebody's like insecurities, and I don't think they wanted to air that. And maybe they had a conversation with the producers like, hey, we are dealing with this. Maybe it's a trigger for her, and we don't want. So I can see how they don't want to air out their stuff.
Yeah, Sal was salty at the reunion, but I'm glad. I was actually rooting, like, man, get it out your system. Like, literally, just express yourself, bro. That's what this is for. Like, I wasn't mad at that. Like, look, I wasn't mad at that. So, like, I don't dislike Sal. I just felt like he was always like this. You know, sometimes I feel like blah, blah, blah. Like, I was just like, bro, like, you know.
And maybe if he got it out, he might have been able to process it better instead of like have this one conversation like, yes, I'm fine. Yeah. Obviously, you're not fine, dude. We can see this. Like, you're not fine. Right. So get it out. Talk. I don't know. Listen. I don't know.
That ukulele was hitting though. He was killing that ukulele all season.
What was that one song? My fiance is fine as Beyonce. It was so funny.
Oh, I didn't miss that part. But I did like that. I feel like if he hadn't pulled out the ukulele, she would have picked Jared. Because she said no man has ever sang for her before. Yes,
true. I don't think it's a ukulele that did it, but I think she saw his sensitive side. He was more, I don't know, sensitive. As far she saw this not player, but she saw this macho man of Jared, and I think she's already done that, and I think they did have a good connection. She liked him, but I think she wanted something different than what she's used to.
All right. Do you think Jared and Mallory would have worked out?
I don't know. It's because based on her past, maybe not. Because I mean, Jared obviously has changed because when they were still just engaged, he was going out to like 3:00 in the morning, and that might have done something for Mallory. Like, and said she probably would have said no.
Well,
even though she said I will change, we didn't see that change. Obviously, he changed now because
right. But he's married now. It's like he's coming into the show with that type of lifestyle. So
I can see. But if he was doing that with Mallory, she might not have said. I don't think she would have said yes because it would have triggered something in her past of like, you're doing the same thing that I did not want.
Right.
So. I mean, I don't know.
I was weak. Artisha said he was lame with the ukulele. That's funny. Nah, I mean, I thought it was good.
Ayanna is the better communicator. Yes, and put your stuff in the comments so we can talk about it.
There's a glare hitting the whiteboard. I
saw our producer is like putting stuff on a whiteboard instead of writing in the comments so we can be. But she said Ayanna is a better communicator. I think she's more self-aware, and I think she knew what she wanted, and I think I will say that I don't think she was gonna stand up for any foolishness, and I think Jared had a decision to make, like, okay, I have to step up to the plate with her. So
Ayanna got a little thick. Did you see her at the reunion? You know what I'm saying? Did you notice that? Yeah.
Well, I didn't look at her the same way, so she was sitting down.
No, I'm not saying it like in a weird way. Like, literally, like, because she was so tiny. She's still tiny, but like, you know what I'm saying, that relationship weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She's happy. They're happy.
Yeah, right.
I'm just like, I didn't look at her like that. So I was like, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway. Sorry. Okay. No. All right. So next, let's talk about Shayna and what's that guy's name?
No, Shake and Deep.
No. Shayna
and Shane.
No, Shayna.
Oh, Cal. Sorry, Cal. Sorry.
Yes. So besides the religion.
Like, wait, I forgot. Listen, Shayna is such a non-factor to me that I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I want to leave. I want to leave Shake for last because he's my favorite character.
Oh my god.
But Shayna and what's his name?
Cal.
So aside from the whole atheism thing, I like Cal because Cal he did nothing wrong. He had the unfortunate. He was unfortunate.
Sorry,
with Shayna.
Before you said, so my friend Artisha B said she thought Ayanna was pregnant, low key. So she agrees with you that she was sick.
See, you made it weird.
I didn't see the thickness, so when you said that,
you can see it in her face. You could see it in her face.
I think maybe it was the braids. I don't know.
Nah, she was thick. 2 C's.
2 C's. Okay.
All right.
Sorry. Go back to Shayna and Kyle.
He should have said Kyle just existed. Hey, look, Kyle wanted a relationship with Shayna, but Shayna was just so fake. Like, she made
the
it.
Fakest of the fakes.
Yeah, she made
Oh.
it. I will never forget the interview part where she was like telling him like, yeah, I just can't be with you because of my faith. And like, I'm Christian and you're atheist. I don't think it's going to work. But literally, as soon as they went away from that scene to the scene where, you know, the people just have the camera right in front of them, she was like, I can't stop thinking about Shane. So I was just like, you're fake. You're fake. Because I truly believe if Shane was atheist, she wouldn't even care.
They never had that conversation. Her and
Exactly. It
well,
didn't
it could have
matter.
been edited. It could have been edited. So there's that. We can't say that they didn't have the conversation.
I'm going based off what I saw, and
however,
she didn't
every
care about
conversation
that.
was, "What are you wearing? Oh, I want to do this to you so many days a week and all this other stuff." So your Christian values was not
She
coming
doesn't
to light.
she
within
just
those conversations with Shayna.
right. She was obsessed with Shane, but she
Obsessed.
wasn't real with him. She didn't say, "Hey, look, I'm just not interested. I'm interested in someone else." She lied and used her faith as an
Yeah.
excuse, and that's why I was just like, "Yo!" And to me, Kyle did nothing wrong. He
She said, Artisha B said, all of a sudden we are saved. Exactly.
Right.
Like, oh no, I love Jesus. Like, I'm not okay. I don't want to get it clear. We're not saying that she's not Christian, she doesn't love Jesus. However, we don't believe that was the true reason that she wasn't down for Kyle. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but Kyle, man, it was funny because I don't know. I felt like I felt something when they first saw each other, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, no!"
And then in the reunion, he was like, "Is it because of my looks?" And she was like, "No, I think you're an attractive man." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever."
Look. You know, I think Kyle is a good-looking dude. His ears, though, he's
not bad looking, but something's off.
that man's got some wings on his head. But he seemed like a good dude.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, but yeah, Shayna, man. And then, while we're talking about Shayna, the whole part where she showed up at the beach, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then she lied on Natalie and said that. What did she say? She said she put like words in Natalie's mouth.
So she had a conversation with Natalie
Yeah.
and basically said, if it doesn't work out with you two, I have a friend basically, and trying to get with her man and all that. And of course, what Natalie's going to do is going to tell her boo. She told Shane, and so Shane told her about herself, and she's like, I didn't even say it that way. She took it out of context.
I'm
and
the
why?
victim.
Yes, and why did she tell you that? Is she so insecure?
Yeah, just messy. Also, Miss Parker said, I don't know, she was into Kyle, and then he said atheist,
That's
and her body
Latoya. You
language
said Miss
changed.
Parker.
Oh,
I was like, Latoya.
I was like, Miss Parker watches Love Is Blind. I'm like, okay.
I was like, first I was shocked too, and then I was like, that clearly says Latoya.
Yeah,
Miss Parker.
Latoya said she was into Kyle, and then he said he was an atheist, and her body language changed when she
Saw him. Bye.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I felt like, so you feel like looks didn't play a part? Oh, okay.
And okay, before we even get to Shake,
She's like, you can't be an ugly atheist. You know what I'm saying? You gotta at least look good.
No, okay. Before we get to Shake, I got to mention him just for 2 seconds. I 100 times agree with him. Something he said in the reunion. I don't even think it was looks. I don't think it's anything. That I believe, just like Shake said, the only reason she said yes was to continue her time on the show, and that way to get closer to Shane and all that. I have looks a little bit, but I feel like it was her ultimate goal was to continue on the show. She didn't want to end right there. I think it was like a glimmer right there in that time. She's like, oh, if I say no, I'm done. I
Right.
can't get to Shane.
Right.
I truly believe that was her thinking right there, was to say yes,
I
to
agree.
stay with Shane, to continue her time on the show. Prolong her time, I should say. But
And I honestly, I just want to say, I respect that you're at least able to say that Shake said one thing correct, because so many women hate. I'm gonna narrow it down to women. People.
are we moving into Shake now?
I just want to say, so many people hate Shake, and like, to me,
Them ears. Artisha, no, Santana, them ears, yes.
yeah,
Exactly.
flappers. Yeah, okay, let's talk about Shake.
Okay,
All right,
guys.
Shake, and
Deep D.
Deep D. So, Deep D seems like a nice girl.
The ultimate catch, seemingly. Oh, we don't know her for real, but everybody loved Deep D. She seemed like a good girl, just all around good catch. Pretty, smart, all of the things. Supportive, everything a guy would think a guy would want. She was like good looking girl, everything. Supportive, like other than looks. Once what's his name? Shake saw her. He was like, she's my best friend. She's the perfect girl. Da da da. However, I'm not attracted to him. Let me get this one thing clear before we get on deep on Shake. The issue is not with him not finding her attractive. That's life. Okay, you're not gonna be attracted to everybody, and that's fine, and that is a-okay. It was how he handled himself with not being attracted. He rambled to every listening ear. Like anytime somebody was there, he goes, well, you know I'm not attracted to her. She's like my aunt. Like, why are you telling this to every single person who you come in contact with? And and per the reunion, the part that we saw was the edited version. So we don't know what else he was saying and all the mean, ugly things he was saying about this person who was allegedly his best friend. He loved her and all this stuff. So if you, quote unquote, love this person, this is your best friend, you would not go around her back, behind her back, and be so ugly. And that's my issue with him.
Gotcha.
So
we had a comment. Santana Thomas says, Jo'Van, what did I think about how Deep D looked? Okay, so
I'm glad how Santana just threw you out there, like.
And I'm gonna answer honestly. So I thought she had a nice body, but no, I wasn't into her face. I wasn't like her. I'm not gonna get into specifics, but no, I wasn't.
Never. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay. No, say it. Like I don't care.
I don't want to put that narrative out. I'll tell you later.
So no, I was not attracted to her. Like, yeah, she seemed like a nice girl, but like I wouldn't. Like, yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah. So that's it. And that's why but see, I think I just need to get over that, because I feel like sometimes, like, as a guy, you can't comment on a woman's looks, and that's why I kind of was like,
I think when you berate and like,
I agree.
Saying, "Oh, I'm not attracted." And if he would have told her that one conversation with Deep D,
that's one thing.
And maybe his mom, or but the fact that he went to every cast member and whatever, it's just like, dude, what is your agenda here?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like he didn't have to like constantly like remind people that he wasn't attracted. Like,
yes.
hey, just in case you forgot, I'm not attracted to her.
I was just like, why is this an ongoing conversation?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he said something to the waiters like, oh, this is my girl, but I'm not. Like, what? Like,
yeah, because it was like you got two different sides. Like the side that I was mostly seeing was the side of, I'm trying to grow and not be superficial and just, fall in love with the person. Like, I kept seeing that Shake, but then I was hearing about other episodes, or maybe little parts I was missing, or even stuff behind the scenes that wasn't filmed where he was talking, like saying negative stuff, and I was just like, okay, well, that's not what I'm seeing, like, from the show, really. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't see him talking to people on the side, like saying, like, hey, yeah, she's like my aunt and all that. But you notice the chick he's with now is a blonde. Like, they both, we're only with white people before they got together. Mm-hmm. So, and now he's back with a white girl. So that's what he wants. Like, he should just stick with that.
I think my thought of him changed at the reunion. So let me be honest right here. So I forgot that part. So I think I've seen it all. Now my thought process of him. Because throughout the show, even with the conversation with everybody.
Do you see that class? I'm sorry.
Which one?
The very last one.
Meanwhile, Jake was over here looking like a
Okay, so for people that when y'all watch the playback, Santana Thomas. Wait, hold on. No, Artisha said. Meanwhile, Shake was over here looking like a meerkat, which is funny because I see it. He looked like Timon.
Okay, let me get back to my point before I forget. So, if I'm being honest, like, I remember thinking throughout the process, because at the beginning, I think we talked about this the other day. At first, you're like, oh, he's just a tool. He's asking girls in the pods, like, how much do you weigh? Can I put you on my shoulders? All this stuff. But then, he
He's so freaking funny. He said, "It's like, okay, so can I put you on my shoulders?" I was like, "Bro, you are crazy."
And then I remember a clip with Ayanna. He was like, "I like to buy women's clothes. What size? Some craziness." He said. Anywho, so
he's gonna get his own show.
oh, he's definitely
100%.
Somehow,
he's gonna get his own
somebody's
show.
crazy enough. It's gonna be VH1.
Because they need something. Is that
No,
what you're
because they
saying?
always have foolishness on
okay.
this channel. Anywho, and then he was a tool. We saw the crazy stuff he was saying to girls. But then he saw his connection with Deepti. And you saw this person who came out his shell. You saw that he wanted to change. Well, we thought he wanted to change. And legit had a deep connection. And even throughout the process, and yes, he said he made it very known that he was not attractive. But he still put in the work. He still did all of the things that you think. I thought it was just an internal struggle. And because he only dated white girls and was an immigrant, I felt like he felt like he wasn't accepted. So to be accepted, he had to come to date white girls. So he was like, oh, maybe if I date them, they'll accept me, or whatever the case may be. So I always felt like, to me, that's why I was rooting for him, that it was an internal struggle. But I honestly thought that at the end he would like come to his senses and like somehow like give it on this college try. But at the end, it played out the way it did. Deepti said no, because she's going to choose herself, and she deserves that. She deserves all the happiness that she in the world, as does anybody. And however, during the reunion is when the real Shake showed up, and it was just
Man, in the reunion, they were ripping Shake to shreds.
nobody liked Shake.
And he didn't apologize.
One bit. It was just like he didn't care. He was like, "This is who I am.
Right.
I am a tool," and I was just like, "I don't care."
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. Like there were some times where I was just like, "Bro, like, just stop," because like even when he was talking about the hosts, like he was even coming at the hosts. I'm just like, bro, like,
yes,
dog, chill.
He was like, "I'm not attracted to anybody but Vanessa." We were like,
why would you say
nobody
that?
asked you.
Why would you say that? I was just like, dude, you were just.
Listen, Nick should have punched him. Like, listen, that's so not cool. But yeah, Shake. I wanted much more from him. I was hoping that throughout this process he was gonna grow, and not saying that he had to be attractive, but just bettered himself and was able to like speak on it in the reunion in a way like, I saw how I handled this, and and we saw growth, but we didn't.
What would you rank Shake's face out of 10?
Shake? Okay.
Because I was trying to figure out, okay, why is this man so, like, I get preferences and then I get being picky. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, to me, I'm not gonna lie, if a certain person's a certain attractiveness, if they're trying to get like way up there, I'll be like, you say at least like make sure you're at your very best. I'm like, this man is not in shape. Like, did you see him when he was getting in the pool?
Yeah.
This man's not in shape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I mean, and to me, Deepti, she was in shape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dog, like.
But he wasn't like sloppy or a big
No.
guy by any means.
He seemed like well groomed in the face.
Yeah, you would think
But I feel like that's where it stopped. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, dog, chill.
out of 10, I didn't think he was a bad looking guy.
He's not a bad looking
so
guy.
I would say, I would give him a 7.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, he was decent looking. I would
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out like why. I feel like he thinks he's like way up
definitely.
here. You know what I'm saying?
He definitely believes he's up there. I think he thinks it's a 10.
Yeah.
He's a catch of whatever. I'm a doctor. I'm a dude.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, yeah.
Oh man.
So, Latoya said 5. Yes. Okay, so Artisha B said, I think Shane wants to be like, Shake wants to be like Shane, blonde and perceived as cool. That is true. I think he was just, he wanted to be accepted. Santana Thomas said, I think he was still salty too that she got rejected at the altar. That he got yes. I do believe he was her. I think he was shocked, and I think he really thought that she was going to say yes. And I think if she would have said yes, I kind of think he was going to say yes, just not to hurt her feelings. because I think everything that he was like, because it was just that knee-jerk reaction, like, oh no, I'm cool, guys. It was like, who are you trying to convince, us or you? And he was like, I got reservations at Nobu. Like, bruh, who are you trying to convince? Obviously yourself, because I know you're hurt, because you were shocked.
I'm glad they didn't get married.
Me too.
Man, that would have been bad.
Oh my gosh! So Artisha B said he was giving Iron Board energy.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Flat? I don't know. What is that? Listen. What does that mean, Artisha?
What's the moral of the Shake and Deep D story? Like, what should our audience leave with from that situation, in your opinion?
Don't be rude. You can get your point across without, like, hurting the other person or going up whatever. And also you can just be true to yourself. If that's not what you want, don't try to force it. Like, I think that's my thing. Like, I don't know why he felt like he had to force it just because, I don't know. I think he genuinely thought that she was a good girl, good catch, had all of this other stuff going for her, but he wasn't attracted to her, which is okay. But if that's not what you want, that's okay. But you don't have to be rude or ugly about it.
I feel like he was going to be hated from the beginning just because of his personality. Because even if he had said, okay, I like who you are, but I'm not attracted to you physically, so I can't do it, I feel like people would still have hated him. He just made it 10 times worse.
Yeah. No, exactly. Because if he just said it to her and maybe his parents, like, oh, I think she's a dope girl, but I'm just not attracted to her, then I think people might have, like, America might have still have felt something, but I think his castmates might have respected him better, and even DT.
Okay. Well, okay, so you're saying, like, you know how they first have the first reveal where they first see each other, and then when they opened it, and he was just like, yeah, no, I can't.
No, we would have hated him. But the thing is,
See?
he was all over her, though.
I know, but I'm saying if he had just been like, okay, yeah, I can't.
I just think that's why everybody's so shocked, because you were all over her, and then it was like a switch
He was
in
being
Mexico.
fake.
It was like, oh my gosh, and then it was like, oh no.
He was being fake. I think he was trying not to be mean at that moment.
When
he first saw her.
I think he was like, oh, because like he was like grabbing her butt.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, it wasn't like a polite. It was not a polite. Oh, okay. No, I don't know. I don't know what's changed, but he was all over her. He was like, oh man, and he was. I don't know. It was. If that was faking, he was a good actor. Hire him somewhere, because he was all over that girl, and it was like an obvious switch for the whole audience. So I was like, what in the world's going on? So, Artisha, the comment about the Iron Board was talking about his body.
Okay, so he's in shape?
No, Iron Board, like flat, like nothing.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, he really didn't have it going on. But well, anyway, guys, this season of Love and Blind. This season of Love is Blind was very entertaining. I loved all the characters because they were all very different. Even Sal, who was very just like. I was like, okay, it stood out in this season because he was just.
You forget about them. I'm like.
Yeah, but I felt like
the ukulele helped him out, because if he didn't have that, we would have.
That's what his friends were like, bro. You got to do something. You got to play music or something, bro. You too. I'm surprised he even they picked him for the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did he get that far?
And the thing, okay, this is a little bit about him. How he can't get over Jared ever. But he had a whole girl come to his sister's house, like. How are you not going to let go of Jared, but you want Mallory to get over this girl going to your sister's house? And I don't
see. She messed with his pimp hand. He was like, hold up. They getting out of line. This is bothering my soul. That's literally what happened.
See, listen, Artisha said, also, I think Shake is really leaning heavy into that
1,000%.
villain role, maybe for clout. Yes.
1,000% he is. I think, but honestly, I think for success, like for clout, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's killing it.
Oh,
because I went on his Instagram and he had a reel where he was doubling down. He was like, I don't feel bad about anything. This is me.
Well, he did have an apology. He said he texted Deep.
Okay.
And he did a video of him doing the same apology. However, Deep D was doing an interview somewhere, and she did not accept the apology. She was like, I don't see any changed behavior from it. So, and that's the thing. If the apology was genuine, there would have been some kind of changed behavior. But as we see, he's dumbling down. I think he just did that to take some heat off him, and just a tad bit, because I think it was coming in hot right after the reunion. But he's not changed. He hasn't changed.
Just imagine what his DMs look like.
Listen.
They're probably just like, he's probably getting death threats. I'm not even like, I really believe like people hate him with all their soul. Anyway, we could talk about this all day.
Literally.
Yes, guys, thank y'all for watching this episode. Hopefully they have another season coming up soon because we love this show.
Legit. They actually are already filming, are in the works of doing it already. Recruiting, I don't know, but they are in the works of doing it.
I don't really watch reality TV like that, but Love is Blind is
same.
Solid.
And Shake calls it Love is Blurry. So what do you think? Is Love blind or is it blurry? We would love to know. Thanks, guys. Come back next time.
See y'all next time.